And all of a sudden, when I gave her a bit of a kick and a shove along, all of a sudden I was in a Ferrari. And that's what the acceleration was like.
And I waited for about a year and then approached the owners, and I think they were ready, as was the trainer Chris Waller, to let us do a feature documentary.
On those big days and seeing the whole crowd was pretty emotional, because they all came out just to see her. It's giving me some goosebumps right now even.
Just not one place you can find a spot now. Everyone is crammed in for a magic couple of moments.
Millions of people are tuning in around the world.
And a Australian icon, the greatest of all time. WINX, 33 in a row.
Now, I was looking and listening to all the archive footage. We looked at a lot of archive footage, and I think one of the great commentators says, millions of people around the world were watching that fourth Cox Plate, but also the final race. So I do think we're already getting calls from people in Hong Kong, in the US, in the UK, and a lot of that's obviously got to do with Chris Waller and his international training ability as well. So yeah, I'm hopeful that we can spread the WINX magic internationally. Yeah.
Film has been a revelation, because you could see some of the people that I had spoken to for the book open right up in with long interviews in front of a camera. And one of the great things about the film, it's not a surprise to me, but I'm gratified that Chris Waller and Hugh Bowman in particular were such terrific interview subjects and gave such complex and personal and serious answers, and deeply personal. They didn't just rattle off a few cliches, and I think that's the difference between this and the average sporting thing.
So I rode her first of her 33 consecutive victories. So, I actually feel it's quite surreal to know what she's actually gone on and done, and to be a part of that. So I feel very honoured to have been a part of it. And funny thing is, when I won onto that day at Caloundra, my wife wasn't at the races, and I rang my wife, and it was an amazing win, and my wife was ecstatic, and she said, "What do you think?" And I said, "She could be the best horse I've ever ridden." And my wife went, "Really?" And named about 4 other champions I'd ridden. And I said, "I know." I said, "She's, no other horse has given me a feel like that." And I told Huey Bowman the same thing. So I think I picked it.
I knew she had the spirit of a champion, but I really didn't know until we started to research a lot more what that meant in terms of her life and how she's been going since she lost her foal. But I also learned a lot about the people that work so closely with WINX, and she's so loved and adored, and I think at the end of the day it's a bit of a love story.
We'll probably find out one day that she's physically different from most animals. She's probably got a bigger set of lungs or something, and until she passes away and they have a look, we won't know. But I think there'll be a physiological reason, but it's a combination. It won't just be that. It's a combination of things. The geometry of the muscles and the leg bones, the soundness. She never broke down. She's sound. And a lot of racehorses aren't. She's very tough, and although she's a big leggy animal, she didn't run like a big leggy animal. She ran like a smaller animal. So like Usain Bolt, she's quite tall, but she performed like a busy little sprinter. She's a funny combination. She's quite different from most horses.
The fairy tale's only a few days away.
It was about managing the fairy tale.
I wouldn't even watch her going into the barriers. She was a time bomb.
No, she knew when it was a race day. You could tell she'd sort of have a mind shift, or when she'd come in from spelling, she was always a lot more friendly while she was working into her fitness, and then as soon as she got there, she was like, "Oh, no, we're not touching anymore, this is game time."
Her name's always going to be up there as the highest in the industry. I rode another champion called Sunline, who won 2 Cox Plates, and someone asked me to compare them. And you don't really like to compare horses because they're in different eras, but I believe WINX would have beaten Sunline at the Valley. And that person that asked me said, well, how the hell would you know? I said, well, I'm the only one that rode them both.
Nights are always very nerve-wracking for the director. We've got everybody that was so important in WINX's life here tonight. So, you know, they're the ultimate sort of audience for me. And I hope that they will really enjoy reliving it. But, you know, I just would love people to go along because it's such an inspiring story. I just love WINX. You know, we filmed with her quite a bit and she really got to us. And so I'm just hoping that it'll be a movie for all the family.